Here we go. What's going on, everybody? Happy Aloha Friday. Welcome into a very, very special MI6 Shorts episode here on the MI6 Sports Network. My name is Isaiah Leong, and I'm coming to you live from the local elementary school here in Fremont, California. We got the basketball courts in the background. We got the playground there. We got, the classrooms over there. We got the tables where the students typically come to eat lunch right over here. But folks, there's nobody here right now. It's the summer, so I'm just sitting here enjoying this nice weather here in the Bay Area that we are lucky enough to have, and I'm just here chilling. And I decided, you know what? There's big news that dropped on Wednesday. The story is going strong on Thursday, and today it came full head of steam as this news just exploded today. It is official now. Well, it's not official yet, but it's most likely going to be happening as two major college football news reporters have reported it, that they are going to submit their letter to leave the Big 12 next week. So it is officially happening, folks. Whether you like it or not, you got to accept it. It is happening. Texas and Oklahoma are leaving the Big 12 to the SEC to form a super mega conference. And as an SEC fan and as a fellow Georgia Bulldog fan, I freaking love it. But before we get into that, folks, make sure you guys, if you guys haven't yet, go to the MI6 Sports Network page, like the page, and also follow the page as well. We are closing in on 100,000 views. That is combined between the views on Facebook, also the views on YouTube as well. We are closing in on 100,000 views, ladies and gentlemen. I think we are only about 700 away. So make sure you guys, if you guys haven't yet, go watch our programs. And you only need to watch 30 seconds of it for it to count as a view. So go do that after this program. And also, if you haven't yet, go to the MI6 Sports Network YouTube channel and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can find our programs there as well as our MI6 Shorts episode. Any funny moments, any legendary moments, you can find it on our MI6 Sports Network YouTube channel. So let's get into, folks. Texas and Oklahoma are leaving the Big 12 to reportedly join the SEC conference. It's not official yet, but they are going to submit their letter telling the rest of the Big 12 that they are leaving the Big 12 conference next week. And it will be official as a matter of next week. Here's my thoughts on it. First of all, I want to welcome my guy, John Alcorn. John Alcorn, if you're watching right now, I want to welcome you to the SEC conference. Looking forward to the rivalry between my Georgia Bulldogs and your Texas Longhorns. No matter if it's in Austin or if it's in Athens, you might as well take a Sharpie right now and pencil in an L next to the Georgia game, because my Georgia Bulldogs are going to whoop your Texas Longhorns' butt year in and year out. No matter if it's in Austin or in Athens, it's going to be the same result every single year. But looking forward to that rivalry. It's going to be fun to see Georgia versus Texas every single year. But so as a Georgia Bulldogs fan, I'm extremely excited. As an SEC fan, I'm extremely excited because if there was any doubt whether or not the SEC was the best conference in all of college football, all that doubt is now gone goodbye, because the SEC proves once again that it's the best conference in all of college football. It just annexed two of the biggest brands and two of the biggest programs in all of college football in Texas and Oklahoma to its conference, which was already massive, and you bring those two programs in, it's going to be the SEC and everybody else. That's how it's going to be. My guy Sammy Sharp read a stat, I believe, the other day where he said that if you look at the SEC right now, let's add Texas and Oklahoma into the equation. You have Texas, Oklahoma, Georgia, Florida, LSU, and Alabama. Those 6 programs alone are going to bring in $6 billion to the SEC. And we're not even counting the other 10 programs. We're counting Alabama, Texas, Oklahoma, Florida, LSU, and Georgia. Those programs alone are going to bring in an excess of $6 billion. Good luck to the Big Ten, whatever is left of the Big 12, the ACC, and the Pac-12 and the Mountain West to try to compete with the super mega SEC conference. It's over, man. It is over. And about the 12-team college football playoff, I guarantee you if this move, which it's going to happen, when Texas and Oklahoma joins the Big Two or the SEC to form this super mega conference, I guarantee you're going to have half of the college football playoff teams, the 12 teams, half of them is going to be from the SEC. So it's over. The SEC just wiped the board with all the other conferences in all the college football. But let me say this. As an SEC fan, I'm extremely excited. As a Georgia Bulldogs fan, I'm extremely excited. But as a college football fan in general, I'm extremely disappointed. I'm extremely sad for the sport, and I'm extremely pissed off because, folks, regardless if you agree or disagree with me on this, I'm going to say this right now. College football died today. College football, as we know and love it, it died today. July 23rd, Friday, 2021 was the official date, the death of college football. Because like I said earlier, now with Texas and Oklahoma joining the SEC, you better believe this is just the start. This is not the end of this massive realignment. No, we're going to have a massive realignment again in college football. This is a earth-shattering, monumental day in all of college football. Because with Texas and Oklahoma leaving the Big 12 to join the SEC, SEC becomes a super mega conference. The Big 12, I don't know what's left of the Big 12. You know, you got Iowa State, you got Kansas State, you got Kansas, you got Oklahoma State, you got all those teams. What are they going to do? Are they going to try to, annex maybe Cincinnati, Houston, UCF, maybe try to bring in Notre Dame? Who knows? The Big 12 is left for dead, basically. They're done. Are those teams that are left in the Big 12, are they going to try to go other conferences? There's been reports that Kansas is talking to the Big 10. There's reports that Oklahoma State could move somewhere else. There's talk that, Texas Tech could move somewhere else. Big 12, they're dead. And let's look at the Pac-12. After this news broke, there's reports now that USC could move to the Big 10. There's reports that USC have reached out to the Big 10. Oregon has reportedly reached out to the Big 10. UCLA, according to the Buckeye Scoop, has also reached out to the Big 10. So the Pac-12 could be dead. There could be more dominoes to fall. Oregon, USC, UCLA could go to other conferences. Big 12, I don't know, maybe you try to bring in Oregon, maybe you try to bring in USC, but this is going to affect the Pac-12. This is going to affect the Big 12 a lot because we don't know what their teams are going to do. Are they going to try to, bring someone else, or or all the other teams are going to try to leave for other conferences? This is going to affect the ACC. There's been talk Florida State might leave. There's been talk other conferences or other teams in that conference might leave. And don't forget about Texas A&M, folks. Texas A&M, according to reports, is the one team that opposes this Texas and Oklahoma joining the SEC, because they want to be the only team from Texas in the SEC. And what's going to happen now, folks, to Texas A&M? If Texas and Oklahoma joins, is Texas A&M going to depart the SEC for another conference, or they are going to be willing to stay in the conference with Texas and with Oklahoma? We are just at the beginning, folks. This is not going to be the end whatsoever. There's going to be more major dominoes to fall. Don't be surprised if Oregon and USC decides to leave the Pac-12 in the coming weeks. Don't be surprised if Oklahoma State, if Iowa State, if Kansas, if Texas Tech all decide to depart the Big 12 in the coming weeks. Don't be surprised if Notre Dame, they try to go somewhere. Don't be surprised if UCF, Houston, Navy, all these other teams in the lower tier conferences, they decide to depart for somewhere else. This is just the beginning. College football as we know it and as we love it, it died today with this news that Texas and Oklahoma are going to the SEC, because that is going to be a super mega conference. There's different questions surrounding the Big 12, the future of the Big 12. The Big 12 might be dead after this. The Pac-12 might be dead. Like I said earlier, Oregon, USC, UCLA have all reached out to the Big 10. In 2-3 years, ladies and gentlemen, you might legitimately see college football being a 16-team SEC versus a 16-team Big 10. That legitimately might be what college football looks like in 3 years down the line. It is a crazy day. There's going to be more dominoes to fall. I can't wait for it. As an SEC fan, like I told you guys all, I'm thrilled about this. But if you're a college football fan, you should be extremely disappointed, because now it's going to be the battle of the mega conferences. There's no longer going to be a Power Five. Instead, it might be just two conferences with 16 teams going at it each and every year for college football. And as a guy that loves college football, it sucks because it ruins the parity. It ruins the parity of college football. It ruins the parity of, you have 5 different champions of 5 the Power Fives getting in. Now, who knows what it's going to be? I don't know. We'll see. But this is just the beginning. There's a lot of stuff that's going to fall, I believe, in the next coming weeks, months. But this was the SEC's Kevin Durant to the Warriors move by them annexing Oklahoma and Texas. This was them pooling a super play on the other conferences. Because, Christy, and if you missed it earlier, my guy Sammy Sharp, who does a fantastic job with me and Callan on Wild Sports Talk, he said that if you put Texas and Oklahoma into the SEC, you have Texas, Oklahoma, Alabama, LSU, Florida, Georgia. Those 6 teams right there that we just named will bring in an excess of $6 billion. And we're not even including the other 10 teams in the conference. So get ready for the super mega conference era, guys. That era has now dawned upon us with the move of Texas and Oklahoma to the SEC. But give me your thoughts, folks, on what do you guys think? Do you guys like Texas and Oklahoma opening Pandora's box and opening a new era by moving to the SEC? What do you guys think are the future of, the Pac-12, the Big 12, Big 10? What do you guys think? I want to know your guys' thoughts on this. It is a monumental, earth-shattering day in college football as Texas and Oklahoma are moving to the SEC. Christy Wilson says, holy cow. And that's my reaction right there. My jaw dropped when I heard this news, because I knew that it would make the SEC a mega conference and you would see massive realignment everywhere in college football. Christy Wilson says, also, mega conferences. Oh boy, yes, Christy, we are this new era of mega conferences have dawned upon us. Because if you missed what I said earlier, Texas and Oklahoma are gone to the SEC. Big 12 are probably going to be scrambling to try to try to replace them, maybe bring in Oregon, maybe bring in a USC that's going to ruin the Pac-12. If they don't do that, the other teams in the Big 12, they might just decide to pack up their suitcases and leave altogether. So this is just going to impact all conferences right now in college football. So it's definitely going to be, you're going to probably see, I think in the next 2-3 years, you're going to see the Big 10 be a mega conference, the SEC be a mega conference, and the ACC being a mega conference as well. You'll probably have 3 mega conferences. That's it in all the college football. And Christy said, I don't like it, but I'm sure fans must be excited about it. I think the SEC fans are excited about it. Oklahoma, Texas, they're definitely excited about it because they get to play in one of the best conferences in all of college football, one of the most dominant conferences in all of college football. But if you're a fan of the Pac-12, if you're a fan of the Big 12, if you're a fan of the Big 10, if you're a fan of the ACC, yikes. I feel so sorry for you guys right now. But folks, give me your thoughts on what you guys think about this big bombshell that came out of the SEC. I want to hear what you guys have to say. But folks, it's been a great show. Thank you guys for taking the time to listen to this episode. Make sure you guys tune into tonight's episode of Wild Sports Talk with Callum McClure, Sammy Sharp. I won't be here on tonight because I will be out on assignment, but Callan and Sammy, they'll do a fantastic job filling in and holding down the fort. They're going to get more into this bombshell that came out that Texas and Oklahoma are joining the SEC. But until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you guys on Monday on Wild Sports Talk. But tune in as Callan and Sammy will be on Wild Sports Talk tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific. Have a good one, everybody.